is a news show.
Sup, Nation? Hope you're having an awesome Thursday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about news type stuff and things that matter to me today. And a quick note before we get started, to the people angry at me because of yesterday's video, I'm sorry, but it was still worth it, and I love you. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, nothing happened in yesterday's video, so there's no reason to go watch it. Oh, and one more quick note, we took the week off for drawing board last week, so the 5 new shirts are up to date, and they look like this. Of course, whichever design sells the best will stay on the site, but the other 4 will never be available again, so grab those while you can. And Nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is the story of a missed connection I've seen on so many sites. And it's a story about a 25-year-old guy by the name of Reese McKee who has turned to the internet for help. He explains he was in Hong Kong in 2012 to watch the year turn to 2013. During the night, he was separated from his friends, got lost, ran into a girl who was crying on the side of the road, Katie, who had done the same thing. They had fun, partied until 6 a.m., and then parted ways, but not before giving him her name, Katie, her hometown, Washington, D.C., a photo, and the request, "Find me." He said he tried back in June on Facebook, but it was all in vain. He could not find her, and so he turned to the interwebs, and now thousands of people are trying to help him, and I have to say, nah, I don't share everyone's enthusiasm about finding Katie. Aside from the fact that this could all be made up based on his recent posts, while the main aim of this event has been to connect with the now infamous Katie, it's also about me, finding myself and who I know I can be. I was hurt a long time ago. The hopeless romantic in me was locked away when he got hurt because it was too much. For too long, this has affected my relationships and I failed people. Somewhere along the line, my romantic soul went silent, and this is a step towards putting that right. I hope to find her, and along the way, find myself. Reese, you might be the nicest guy on the planet, and this might be real, but it kinda sounds like you were writing like what the narrator should say during the trailer, and or like the guy that writes poetry to a girl even though she's requested twice that he stop. And Reese, if this girl is real, and to anyone that has ever met a woman that wants to do stuff like this, no, just don't do it. Really? We had a good time, we hung out, we're both relatively attractive young people, and you can't give me your phone number, your Facebook profile, and email. I have to solve the Da Vinci Code to find you. No, screw that. Oh yeah, I totally want a high maintenance girl who watches too many rom-coms. You're not Kate Hudson, and I'm not a bag of muscles with a mouth. Just know, if you find someone that you're attracted to and you like, and you think they like you, just work that out. Don't add random big things because you find it fun and quirky. I can't speak for all guys. I can speak as a guy, and as a guy, I know that my ideal woman in a relationship, and I am with her right now, is to love someone that loves me just as much, even on the bad days. Despite all our flaws, we grow together, we support each other, we have each other's back, and then you flip the switch and she treats your penis like she's angry at it, and that's a perfect relationship. But if we meet and you give me your shoe size, your favorite color, and your favorite state, and I'm supposed to find, no, screw that. You go enjoy that craziness. I'm gonna live in a relationship filled with real things and not stupid. And from there, I want to share some stuff I loved and found today, and Today in Awesome, sponsored by Gamefly.com/PhillyD. Use that URL, you get a free trial. Just rent 2 games, play them, see if you enjoy them. Because how many games in your life have you purchased and you were like, oh, that was 4 to 8 hours that I will never play ever again. Let me trade this in at a BS rate. So there's that, but today there was some movie trailer awesomeness. For you old school fans of Veronica Mars, the first trailer for the movie version came out today, and it actually looks good, and more importantly, it will be very interesting to see how this does in theaters, as well as the Zach Braff crowdfunded movie, because we don't really know as of right now if it can be successful. Outside of the already awesome, yay, we get to make a movie, will it be big and profitable? So this happens more and more. Then, for a movie that did not need to be crowdfunded, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer dropped today, and there's a lot of stuff going on. We got Rhino, Electro, what looks to be a Green Goblin setup, and some people have been saying the CGI is a bit too cartoon-like. That's not even where my head's at. The only concern I have is that we've seen sequels in franchise, even specifically Spider-Man before this, where they were like, let's have a lot of bad guys, and it totally won't dilute the story and ruin this movie. And I do still have my hopes that it will be awesome. I really enjoyed the first one. Maybe I will enjoy the second. Then something awesome that I wonder if other bands will do in the future. 9 Inch Nails posted their entire concert onto their YouTube channel. It's from their show at the Staples Center. It's beautifully cut together. It's a good listen. And it does make me wonder if other bands will be as smart as 9 Inch Nails and understanding that, people will get music wherever they want, but if you entertain them on the internet or on any device where they can listen to your music, they will probably go to your concert. And then finally, of course, we have our lovely lady of the day, as recommended by the nation, Jessica, insert last name. She is a barista at the Bottoms Up Espresso in California, which I didn't even know this was a business model, but you take an attractive girl, put her in very little clothes, and she makes people coffee, and then they just drive up over and over. That's genius. I mean, granted, I probably wouldn't go because I have a problem even going to Hooters, like when it's so obvious what the place is about and everything's like pointing to it, I become like a 12-year-old boy. I like don't know where to put my eyes, and my hand placement like gets all weird. Yeah, I'd like a 10-piece super spicy wing. But the main point is I approve of Miss Jessica, and for you, because in case you were interested about the history of coffee, I made a sexy time gallery, and it's in the links down below, along with the links for everything else I talked about today. And then there's something interesting I want to talk about in New York, because there was a mentally disturbed man in traffic running around kind of harassing people. Police show up, try to assess the situation, and at that point the man reaches into his pants for his wallet, but the police believe that it's a gun, so they open fire on the guy, missing him completely, hitting 2 women. At that point, then a sergeant took the guy down with a taser, which in retrospect might have been the best first course of action instead of firing into a crowded group. And it really does beg the question, you know, how do you handle someone you believed is armed when they are surrounded by people? And it's not a new question. I mean, we were asking this about a year ago. There was that really big story about that armed murder suspect in front of the Empire State Building. Police opened fire, hit 9 other people in the process of killing the guy. But what's really interesting with this story is the guy survived, so now he is being charged with the injured women that were shot by police because they were trying to stop the guy. Even the lawyer for one of the women who were shot were like, why is the district attorney going for charges against this man? It should be against the officers. Although he is a lawyer and he's probably just trying to set up a lawsuit against the police department. And so Nation, I want to ask that question to you. Do you believe that the police officers are at fault, or no, it is in fact the man who is mentally ill that caused all of this? If I'm a police officer and I believe that you have some sort of bomb, so I try to punch you in the face, but I miss and I hit a baby in the face, is it actually my fault, or is it the person that sparked my actions' fault? Then, in an update to yesterday's story of the stolen radioactive Cobalt-60, the fear that it would be used to create a dirty bomb has subsided because they found it abandoned in a truck in central Mexico. It was found about half a mile away from a town of 4,000 people, but it's not believed that anyone is affected by the radiation. And in fact, the only person that may have been affected is the person that opened it up. With the way that it was shielded, if the person had it in their hand for like 5 to 8 minutes, they're pretty much gonna die. See how instant karma can sometimes be a bitch? And it means that over the weekend we may find out who actually stole this stuff. And then I want to talk about TV, because TV's in this very interesting place right now. As someone that's from the internet, it's my home, and I have no intention of ever changing where that home is, regardless of if I ever do anything on TV. I go to these things every now and then where I talk about what I do, advertising, and pretty much every time I meet some guy that's in TV and he's like, TV is dying. It's not dying right now, but it's very, very sick, and we're not sure which way it's gonna go. And for me, it's not a disrespect kind of thing. I see TV still as the king, still as the big guy on campus, but every now and then he still needs a little blue pill, you know, just to keep things chugging along. And it's a bit scary for them because their prize is now being wooed by younger, more exciting options. And so that's why I thought it was very interesting when a new report came out talking about a la carte pricing. What would happen if people weren't forced into these cable packages? They were able to just buy the channels that they want. Well, in the report, it was found that it would probably have a devastating effect. Based on people's choices of channels that they would actually want to buy, their calculations found that $80 to $113 billion would be lost. On top of that, 124 channels would just go away, disappear, resulting in the loss of 1.4 million jobs in media, which would then also result in a potential loss of $45 billion in TV ad revenue. But then the thing that I wonder as a businessman is, just because something is bloated, should we keep it bloated rather than trimming away the fat? Because the numbers get even more interesting. The report estimates that on an average, to have an entertainment channel, it costs $280 million a year. Based on the average ads and all the deals in place, to just break even at that point, you'd have to have 165,000 viewers. To which that just makes me go, wait a second, so if I had a TV network, I would be doing better than lots of channels on TV? That's insane. Because get this, on average, a family has access to 180 channels through their cable package, but often only use 16 to 20 of them. And I hate the current package system because they just manipulate people. Like, I don't want Fox Sports 1, but I purchased a Fox Sports 1 bundle package so I could watch one thing of UFC like every month. Imagine for a second that you actually had to pay for YouTube and you really love my show, so you want to pay for my show, but instead of just being able to pay for my show, you have to pay for the cable company jerking on your face package, which is the Philip DeFranco DeFranco Show, the Pictures of Birds channel, and a guy that's sometimes pooping and or peeing, and 17 other channels of scrambled porn and dubstep. It sucks, it's stupid. Like, if I could pay just for the channels that I actually use, I would be willing to pay more for those channels rather than paying for bullshit channels. Like, I think about it, I'm like, how many channels do I actually watch? You know, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, HBO, sometimes Showtime, of course, every channel in the Discovery Channel network, winky face. And so the question I want to ask there, for all of you people that have been cord cutters, you don't have cable, would you be interested in something where you could just buy a few channels? You'd have to pay a premium because it's a la carte, but in no way would it be as expensive as a cable package. And to people who have cable packages, would you be interested in paying more per channel but less overall for fewer channels? And to possibly get a $50 gift card to 4humanpeoples.com, leave a comment down below. Maybe while you're at it, hit the like button, favorite, subscribe. And thanks again to the sponsor of today's show, Gamefly.com/PhillyD. Use that URL, get your free trial, play some video games. And of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you Monday.